Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Ahmed Abrar Mola Qureshi, and today is the third lecture of AS level economics. Now, previously we studied about fundamental economic problem. We studied about the factors of production, and today we will study about ceteris paribus. Now, ceteris paribus is a Latin term which means other things remain equal. Right? Other things remain equal. The idea behind this is that to simplify an actual situation and modeling one change at a time. For example, if you study the effect of price on demand, now we will have to make other things constant because demand is affected not only by price but many other factors as well. But we can study only one factor at a time to get to a conclusion. So therefore, when we study the effect of price on demand, we have to keep other factors constant. So we will say that if price increases, demand decreases, or if price decreases, demand increases, other factors remaining the same, or ceteris paribus. So ceteris paribus is basically used to make constant the effect of other variables and to study the effect of only one variable at one time. Similarly, there is another concept known as the margin. Now, the margin means it is used to simplify a situation, like ceteris paribus is also used to simplify a situation. Now, the margin means that the margin, and over here the concept is that a small change may lead to a further small change in other variables. That is, a small change in one variable may lead to many other small changes in another variable. So this concept may be applied later on in the course. Now we come on to the next heading, that is the time dimension. Now this time dimension is used many times in economics. There are usually two main time dimension types. One is the short run and the other is the long run. The short run is the period of time in which only one factor of production is variable. It means that if land, labor and capital are being used for production, then usually capital and land remain fixed in a period of time, and only labor can be varied varied because it is a short term. So as long as the firm or an organization is not able to vary the other two factors of production, or it can only vary only one factor of production, that amount of time period will be known as short run. So it's not a specified period of time, it is a situation in which only one factor of production is variable with the firm, but the other two factors of production are fixed with the firm. So they are not able to change those factors. Now when the firm is able to vary all factors of production, then its long run starts. So long run is that period of time in which all the factors of production become variable. Now we come on to another concept, very long run. Usually this is not used, but for understanding, it means that all factors plus key inputs are also variable. That means land, labor, capital become variable, but also the technology, the government regulations, and the social impact also becomes variable. Now the next topic is statements in economics. Now, in economics, when you study the course matter or the book, you'll come across many statements. Some statements may be known as positive statements, and other statements may be known as normative statements. Now, positive statements are those statements which are based on empirical evidence, that is, based on facts, which can be verified through facts. For example, if there is a statement that inflation rate in the economy was 10.1% in the previous quarter, then it can be varied by looking at the facts whether it was 10.1% or not. Now if a statement is given that unemployment is 12% in the economy, then it can be judged through facts whether unemployment is 12% or not. So verification can be done according related to positive statements. But there are other kinds of statements which are known as normative statements. The normative statements are based on opinions or value judgments. That means if economist says that by building this dam, in future maybe 10 million people will benefit. Now that is a value judgment. It cannot be very verified through facts because the action has to take place and future when the facts will come then only it can be verified. So at the moment it is only a value judgment. Now if an economist says that no, inflation is a greater problem than unemployment, it is also a value judgment because you cannot in some circumstances inflation may be a more more important problem, but in other cases unemployment may be a more important problem. Now we come on to the next heading, that is specialization and exchange. Now specialization means concentration on production of some goods and services. That is, you do not try to make every kind of good and service, but you only try to make only those goods and services in which you are good at, or in which you are specialized, or in which you have expertise. So that is known as specialization. No, now, if there is no specialization, then people will have to become self-sufficient. But when there is specialization, people will only do the work in which they are good at. So there will be no self-sufficiency, and there will be no sufficiency. There will be only concentration on concentrating on the production only few products or goods and services. Then there will be more production, and there will be mass production, and products will produce in larger quantities and better quality. When there is no self-sufficiency and more production has taken place, then exchange becomes necessary because you have to exchange the items with those items which you cannot make. So countries, when they specialize in few goods and services, they export those goods and services and try to exchange them with those goods and services in which they are not good at, or in which they are not producing in or which they are not producing in their own country. Now this helps to grow the development of markets. Now markets are developed internationally and locally as well, because market is a situation where buyers and sellers come together to trade. Now because there is no self-sufficiency, people need to sell their products and in exchange buy products of their need from other people. So that is why markets have to be established in which buyers and sellers will come and try to trade and try to buy and sell various goods and services. Now when specialization is done, there's massive expansion in living standards because people are specialized and have expertise to make better goods and services. So the living standards also improve. They may provide better housing facilities, they may provide better education, better healthcare facilities. So that is why living standards improve. Now when there is specialization, there is also need for flexibility and being multi-skilled. Now if there's an employee, they needs to be multi-skilled because there are already fewer things in which the country is specialized. So if some thing goes wrong and those things go out of demand, then the employee will be in trouble. He needs to be multi-skilled so that he can shift on to another occupation if the demand for one occupation goes down. Now unemployment due to lack of demand, when the demand falls down for the goods and services, then there can be unemployment because people will not be needing, or firms will not be needing more people because of lack in demand. Now policies will be made by the government to deal with economic and social problems arising out of unemployment. The next concept is the division of labor. Now with specialization, labor may be divided into specialized tasks in different tasks, and the manufacturing process may be split into a sequence of individual tasks because it will help them to to make mass production. Now according to Adam Smith writing in the late 18th century, now if a pen making is being divided into various tasks, he says if can be divided into 18 different tasks, then each employee undertaking one operation may increase the productivity up to 5,000 pence per day because he is specialized, he is doing only one job. So division of labor promotes massive production. The next topic is sectors of economy. There are usually three sectors of economy, but fourth one is also added over here. The three main sectors are primary sector, secondary sector, and the tertiary sector. Primary sector deals with the production of raw materials such as crops and minerals, and the secondary sector use these raw materials to manufacture various items. From wood they can manufacture furniture, and from steel they can manufacture cars and etc. So manufacturing sector is the secondary sector, and when these things are sold, then the tertiary sector comes into play. Now, from the tertiary sector, from tertiary sector you sell your products. Then there's a quaternary sector in which the information is transferred. The mission usually which is based on information technology and research and development. So that is it for today, and then inshallah we'll meet in the next lecture. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.